It was a sunny morning on an autumn day in Fumbily Wood. Tumbles loved this time of day. He loved the way the sun shone through the leaves and the branches of the forest and seemed to dance on the ground beneath his feet in the breeze. He loved all the rich colours of the forest and how the bees buzzed from flower to flower in the clearings where they grew. When the sun was shining at this time of day, Tumbles knew that he'd find some of his friends outside enjoying themselves, so he decided to go for a walk and see who he might see. As he left his house in the old oak tree right in the middle of Fumbily Wood, he spotted Squirrel, sitting on the branch just outside the door to his house, higher up in the same tree that Tumbles lived in. "Hello, Squirrel," he called. Squirrel hadn't heard Tumbles leaving his house, and he jumped and nearly fell out of the old oak tree when Tumbles called his name. "Oh my goodness, Tumbles, you gave me such a fright. I didn't see you there." Squirrel was holding his paws to his chest. "Oh, my heart is beating so fast now. What a terrible fright I got." "Oh, I am so sorry, Squirrel. I didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted to say hello on such a beautiful afternoon." Tumbles could see that he'd given his friend Squirrel a fright, as he could see that Squirrel was breathing rather quickly now. Tumbles always felt the same way when he was frightened too. His heart would beat fast and he'd start breathing quickly too. But he knew that this was just how his mind got him ready to run away in case there was danger. This was the same for everybody, and Tumbles knew this, so he didn't worry about it when it happened to him. And sometimes, just like Squirrel, it happened even when there was no danger about. But Tumbles knew that Squirrel would be okay, and would calm down quickly and easily now, in just a few minutes. And sure enough, after just a few minutes, Squirrel was settling back down on the branch for a snooze. "Enjoy your walk, Tumbles. Don't go scaring anyone else on this beautiful afternoon." "I'll do my best, Squirrel," said Tumbles. "Don't work too hard," he giggled as he wandered off into the woods. Tumbles hadn't walked too far before he bumped into his very good friend Rabbit. Rabbit looked a bit worried. "Hi, Rabbit. Is everything okay?" asked Tumbles. "Hi, Tumbles. Have you seen Hopper? I can't find him anywhere." Hopper was one of Rabbit's sons. He was called Hopper because he was the bravest bunny that could hop higher than any other rabbit in Fumbily Wood. "No. Sorry, Rabbit. I haven't. Is everything okay?" "Yeah, I'm sure he's okay. He's just been very nervous lately and worrying about everything. And as you know, he's normally so brave. So I'm just trying to keep a close eye on him," said Rabbit. "I'll keep a lookout for him while I'm on my walk, Rabbit." "Thanks, Tumbles. Where are you off to?" I think I'll go to the faraway field today." The faraway field was, as you might have guessed, a very long way away. But Tumbles was feeling very full of energy today, unlike Squirrel. To get to the faraway field, Tumbles would have to walk all the way to the edge of Fumbily Wood, across the meadow, and through the field where Farmer John kept his sheep. The faraway field was beautiful, with a stream running right through the middle of it. During the summer, Rabbit and his brother would take all of their family for a big camping trip to the faraway field, where they'd play games and go fishing in the stream. "Oh, I love the faraway field," said Rabbit. "And if you do see Hopper on your way, maybe you might be able to find out what's worrying him." "I promise I will, Rabbit," said Tumbles as he continued on his way. After walking for a while, Tumbles was nearing the edge of Fumbily Wood, and starting to feel quite tired now. So he decided to sit down under the shade of an elm tree and rest for a few minutes. He was just about to doze off for a quick nap in the sunshine when something caught his eye. Something, or someone, was hiding behind one of the small trees right on the edge of Fumbily Wood. Tumbles couldn't quite see who it was, so he moved a bit closer. And as he did, who should he find hiding there but Rabbit's son, Hopper. Hopper was normally full of energy and happy and bouncy, with bright eyes and ears that stood straight up. But to Tumbles, Hopper looked different. He looked very worried and scared. which, just like Rabbit said, was strange because Hopper was normally so brave. "Well, hello, Hopper. How are you? And what are you doing hiding here behind a tree on the edge of Fumbily Wood?" Hopper looked quite sad and upset. "Hi, Tumbles. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just feel very worried and scared all the time. I don't know why. And sometimes I feel sick and my tummy hurts and I get sad. I don't want to feel like this, but I can't help it. And I don't want anyone else to see me like this, so I came here. But now I'm too scared to go into the meadow, and I'm worried that if I stay here I won't be able to find my way home." "Don't worry, Hopper. I'm here now, and I'll look after you," said Tumbles. Like every animal in Fumbily Wood, Hopper loved Tumbles, the big friendly bear, and Hopper knew that Tumbles knew lots of ways to help the animals when they needed it. "Thank you, Tumbles," he said, and he wiped a tear from his eye. "Tell me, Hopper, when did you start to feel like this?" Tumbles asked. "Oh, I don't know, maybe about 2 weeks ago." "And did anything happen 2 weeks ago? Weren't you camping in the faraway field?" asked Tumbles. "Yes, I was, that's right," Hopper said quietly. "And did anything happen when you were camping?" Tumbles asked. "Well, not really, but—" Hopper stopped as if he didn't want to talk about it. "It's okay, Hopper. You can tell me. Maybe I can help," said Tumbles. "Well, okay, but promise you won't tell my dad. He'd be very angry with me." "I promise, Hopper. I won't tell your dad if you don't want me to." "Okay, well, you see, we were away camping in the faraway field. All my family were there and my cousins. And I was playing one afternoon, chasing a butterfly around and having a great time trying to catch him. He'd land on a dandelion for a moment, and I'd try and do my biggest hop and try and catch him. But he was too quick, and he'd fly off and land on another flower and giggle at me. It was great fun. Every time I'd hop, he'd fly away. I did this for hours. And I didn't even notice, but I'd hopped all of the way out of the faraway field and into Farmer John's field. Not the field with the sheep in it, but the field where he grows all his corn. I was lost, and I didn't know how to get back to our tent. I wasn't worried then, but I was getting hungry. And I know I shouldn't have, but I started to nibble on some of Farmer John's corn. It was delicious. And then, all of a sudden, I hear someone screaming my name. "Hopper! Get out of there now!" I got an awful fright. It was Farmer John, and he was running towards me, and he looked really angry. He's normally so friendly. But I was so scared that I was running before I even knew what I was doing. My heart was beating so fast, and I was breathing so quickly, and I wasn't even hungry anymore. In fact, I was feeling a bit sick in my tummy, and I couldn't even think properly. I was so scared. I ran off as fast as my legs would carry me, and I kept running and running until I ran all of the way out of the cornfield. And it took me a few minutes to realize that I was safe and Farmer John wasn't chasing me anymore, and I started to calm down again. My heart was beating normally again, and I could breathe properly too, and my tummy stopped hurting me, and I wasn't worried anymore, and I was able to think properly. It was only then that I realized that because I hadn't been thinking properly, I'd made a mistake, and I was on the wrong side of the cornfield, and nowhere near our tent in the faraway field. And if I was going to get back, I had to cross Farmer John's cornfield again. And then I started to remember Farmer John screaming and chasing me, and my heart began to beat faster, and I started to breathe quicker, and my body felt all horrible, and my tummy started to ache, and I couldn't stop the worrying thoughts in my head. And I was so scared and nervous just thinking about what I had to do, but I knew I had to cross the field to get back home. So I started, slowly, to cross the field. walking at first, sniffing to see if I could smell Farmer John. I was very scared when I heard a big rumbling noise off in the distance, and I thought that it was Farmer John chasing me. So I started to run, and I was feeling even more scared now. But the noise wasn't Farmer John, because as I got to the middle of the field, I ran straight into a big pair of Wellington boots, and standing in those big Wellington boots was Farmer John. "Oh dear," said Tumbles, "what happened then?" "Well, he looked down at me, and he looked very angry again, and he was screaming and waving his arms. 'Get out of here now, Hopper!' He's always so nice to me, but now this made me very angry, so I bit him on the boot and I ran away as fast as I could so he wouldn't catch me. I was still feeling very worried and my body felt very strange, and I was nearly crying and so scared of everything. And I ran and I ran and I ran till I found my way back to our campsite, where I knew I'd be safe. But I didn't even feel safe there now. And ever since that day, I keep getting those horrible feelings and feeling scared or worrying for no reason at all. Sometimes my heart beats really fast, and I start thinking scary thoughts, and I can't stop it. And if I even just think about Farmer John now, it makes me scared. I feel horrible all the time, and I don't know what to do, Tumbles. I came here to see if I could see Farmer John and say sorry for eating his corn and biting his welly boot, but I'm too scared now to leave Fumbily Wood. So I just hid here in the trees till I saw you coming along." "Ah, I see," said Tumbles. "Do you know that I can see Farmer John's cornfield from here?" he asked. "Can you?" said Hopper. "Yes, just over there," and Tumbles pointed towards the field. "Here, hop up on my shoulders and see." Hopper took one bounce and jumped all the way up onto Tumbles' shoulders. "Oh yeah, I can see it too." "Can I ask you something, Hopper? Did it rain when you were in the cornfield?" "No, it didn't rain that day, but it rained all the next day. We had to stay in our tent all day long," said Hopper. "I think I know why Farmer John was shouting at you that day," said Tumbles with a little smile on his face. "What? Why?" asked Hopper curiously. "Well," said Tumbles, "can you see the cornfield now?" "Yes." "And can you see all of the corn blowing in the breeze in the field?" Tumbles asked. "No, I can't see any of it at all. That's very strange." Hopper scratched his head. "You're right," said Tumbles. "It's all gone. And do you know why?" "No." "Why?" asked Hopper. "Because on the day before it rained really heavily, Farmer John had a man cut down all his corn for harvesting before it got too wet." "Okay, but what has that got to do with him shouting at me?" asked Hopper. "Well, you would have been right in the middle of the field when the big machines were cutting down the corn. You see, Farmer John wasn't trying to scare you. He didn't mind you eating his corn. He was trying to make sure you didn't get hurt by the big machinery in the field. He was trying to keep you safe, Hopper." Hopper thought for a moment. "Oh, now I think I understand." A bit of a smile came across Hopper's face, but then it turned sad again. "But Tumbles, what about all the horrible feelings in my body, and the worrying, and feeling scared, and the bad thoughts I keep having now? What's wrong with me?" "Oh, there's nothing wrong with you, Hopper. You are perfectly normal. Everything that has happened to you has happened for a reason. But it doesn't feel normal, Tumbles," said Hopper. "Let me explain it like this. When you got a fright, your body wanted to run away. So your brain made parts of your body stronger, like your legs and your arms, so you could run as fast as possible to escape the danger. It made your heart beat faster and your breathing quicker, and it even made you not hungry anymore, and gave you a bit of a pain in your tummy, all to make you as fast as possible. But to do this, it also made you scared and worried, so that you would keep running away from the danger until you were safe. And because it's more important to run than think, some of the energy it uses for thinking got used for running instead. So while this is happening, your thinking doesn't work so well. This even happened to Squirrel this morning. He nearly fell out of his tree when I gave him a fright. But why did I bite Farmer John? Asked Hopper. Well, said Tumbles, sometimes when you can't run away from the danger, you might find other ways to protect yourself. So this is probably why you felt angry and bit Farmer John the second time he shouted at you. But why am I so scared now all of the time? Asked Hopper. I'm not in any danger now, but I still feel horrible, Hopper asked. Well, you see, said Tumbles, sometimes when something not nice happens to us, we react like you did, wanting to run away or bite somebody's welly boot. Sometimes we even stand completely still so that the danger doesn't see us, and our brain does all of this without us even asking. All of the heart beating faster, the quick breathing, the tummy problems, and all of the worrying, all meant to protect us when there's danger, like a magic power. And when we're safe again, and we don't need the magic power anymore, it turns itself off again, because it has to save its power for the next time. But sometimes, if we have a few not nice things happen to us, the magic power gets stuck on and can't turn itself off. And if it's stuck on, it means that we can have our heart beating fast, be breathing quick, have tummy problems, and feel worried about things even when there's nothing to worry about, and even when there's nothing to be scared of, even when there's no danger about. It will think that there's something to worry about, and even when you are totally safe. And it can be very confusing. And your brain is very clever, and it can do things without you even having to think about them. So if you are near something that kind of looks like the not nice thing that happened to you, then it will turn on the magic powers to keep you safe. But sometimes it gets it wrong and turns them on when you don't need them, which isn't nice. Hopper thought for a moment. So when Farmer John shouted at me, my magic powers turned on and made me run away from him as fast as possible. That's right, Hopper, said Tumbles. And when he shouted at me the second time, I couldn't run away at first, so my magic powers made me bite his boot. That's it. And because I was scared by him a few times, my magic powers got stuck on, making me frightened of him even though he was only trying to save me. And now my magic powers are seeing lots of things to be scared of even when I'm safe, and they're making me feel horrible. That's exactly it, Hopper, said Tumbles. Hopper thought for a moment. But Tumbles, these magic powers don't really feel magic right now. Well, you see, said Tumbles, that's because you don't need them now. If you only use them when they're needed, they really are magic. Like if one of Farmer John's grumpy bulls is chasing you, you could run away really fast. But when they're being used, but not needed, they become messy powers, not magic powers. But does that mean that I'm now broken and I can never be fixed? Hopper asked worryingly. Not at all, said Tumbles. There's nothing wrong with you. You just have to learn how to switch your magic powers off when you don't need them. And that's not difficult at all. I'm going to show you how. It's really easy. But for now, all you have to remember is that there's nothing wrong with you at all. You are going to learn how to control your magic powers. And this is going to make you a very special bunny indeed. But first of all, let's have a snooze here beneath this tree, as it's such a warm day today, and I've had a long walk, and I need to rest now before we start. So Tumbles and Hopper sat down beneath a tall tree right on the edge of Fumbily Wood, and closed their eyes now, and began to take a few deep breaths in through their nose and out again through their mouths. And before they knew it, they drifted off into a beautiful, deep sleep now. And as the autumn sun shone down on Fumbily Woods, all that could be heard was the gentle snoring of a little rabbit and a big, friendly bear. Good night.